How humans will communicate in the future is shocking, but not surprising. Here's a look at what's to come through the lens of speculative fiction in the first person. I wake up with a pounding headache the day after my upgrade. The other passengers warned that this was to be expected, but I of course underestimated the pain. Nutrient status, I whisper, but then it dawns on me. I should start using the upgrade instead of speaking. Before I can try, however, the nutrient status emerges on my lens. At this point, I only read the text as a formality. Vitamin A 76%, iron 82%, and so on. Whether I read it all or not, the Chef Pro generates my meal with the exact nutrients I need, so I don't bother to pay close attention to the details. Although I've been warned about skipping over the data, the nutrient patch on my arm looks just fine, so I trust the results and continue going about my business. Now that I've gotten my upgrade, I'm excited to see who I run into first, but as I exit my pod, there doesn't seem to be anyone around. I wouldn't be surprised if they're avoiding me. For those old enough to have gotten the upgrade, they don't use words, and from what I've been told, it's quite jarring when someone who's new starts communicating for the first time. If I were them, I'd avoid me too. What I'm not excited about is my vocal cords atrophying, but they've said it's quite painless, just gradual. As my thoughts press on, a familiar face rounds the corner. Apollo. He's named in honor of the first galactic craft humans used to leave the origin planet Earth. Earth. I often wonder what life would have been like there instead of in a perpetual state of transit, but I guess I'll never know. In fact, no one in my lifetime will. Apollo and I haven't spoken since his upgrade, as cross-medium communication is strictly forbidden by the Council. With the Council in mind, I'm reminded that my upgrade gives them full data access to my thoughts. I suppose the lack of privacy is a small price to pay for the added security. After all, there have already been 12 confinement sentences in recent memory for thought infractions. Luckily for me, there's a small grace period after the upgrade. From what they've told me, it's more than enough to reel in any thoughts of rule violations or impurities, or worse yet, rebellions, the usual thoughts that lead to confinement. Apollo grins, then his words come through crystal clear as if someone were whispering in my ear. You're broadcasting your thoughts, he chuckles. Take it easy, I respond, thinking the words loudly in my head but not uttering them out loud. You're the first one I've tried communicating with so far. At the very least, I know my upgraded neurochip works. I'll just need more practice. From the brief training I received before they implanted the chip, you have to visualize the person you're trying to communicate with. Then, you articulate the words in your head, but if they've muted communications, they won't hear you. Instead, they'll receive a text notification on their lens. But for inexperienced communicators who just received their chip upgrade, broadcasting is a real issue. This is when your thoughts spill out to everyone inadvertently. Apparently, you develop a sixth sense to avoid this, but I'm still feeling things out. After a quick exchange, Apollo does something I'm not expecting. He uplinks a memory to my chip. They told me this capability would be included in my upgrade, but now, receiving one in real life is a little surreal. Without any words, I can see and hear and feel exactly what Apollo experienced from a memory. In this case, Apollo uplinked a time when his nutrient status was wrong, but he ignored it. 2000% vitamin C was added by his Chef Pro. The extreme tang catches me off guard. When you broadcasted earlier, Apollo laughs. You gave it away that you ignore the numbers. Sorry for the tang, but I just couldn't resist.